trees. It's two cities and they're only.
That's all I'm saying. Gloria, you got about 1 minute before the news, honey.
Preacher, you got it all mixed up.
Of course I do.
People do not have to work in the mill when you have education. And that's why Obama and other people have never had to work in those places. So a job, a career is a job.
Isn't it nice, though? Wait a second. Hold on. Let me you made a point now. It's my turn to make a point. You make a point, then I make a point. That's the way it works. Isn't it nice that Barack Obama, somehow, a guy from mediocre upbringing and basic I do know that. How do you think? Tell me this, Gloria. Gloria, tell me this. Who do you think paid for Barack Obama's Harvard education? His parents or the government?
He paid the same people who paid for Gail.
All right, we're right up against the news. Get a mulligan after the news. Listen, Barack Obama no more paid for that Harvard education
what were we talking about
than I
before
did.
the break?
Oh yeah, the unions and what have you, and that argument. I don't want people to think I'm anti-union. That would be bad. That would be a bad thing because I'm not. What I am is the freedom to choose, and that means the right to work. And that doesn't mean the right to work for less, like I heard one particular fireman today. And yes, he's a Hammond fireman. He doesn't seem to disguise it, but he is continually accusing me of making up my own facts. And I'm not. It is what it is. It's not the right to work for less. It's just the right to work. It's the right to choose whether or not you want to join a union. I began to tell my Teamster story, and I'll just make it short and sweet. You didn't have a right, and you had no choice. And there was no way to move up the proverbial ladder based on performance. It wasn't. You were in line. In other words, 5 guys above me in seniority could have been doing half the work that I was doing, and any one of those 5 individuals would have had first choice at a job opening before me, even though I was performing better.
But you want to know how Obama paid for his students, for his thing. With the student loan, and when he sold his book, it was announced when he was running that him and his wife could pay that back. Just like anybody else. And I said, Erica to college and other people, the mothers pay, but you don't have enough money with these Big Ten colleges to pay it all. That's how that was done. And also remember, you know, I thought, you know, you and I argue about different things. We don't always agree to everything. But people don't have to break their backs and everything to say that they're working. That's why you go to college, to get some type of trade or trade school and things of that sort. And every union is not communist. I can remember before they had unions, people worked 20 cents an hour. No overtime. Unions set the pace for the pay scale.
Okay, hasn't that been accomplished by now?
No, it's never. If you drop that, if you get rid of the union, here's what'll happen. They will have these big car dealers and whoever's working, they'll have you working for 10 cents an hour.
No, come on, you're exaggerating. It would be at least 15 cents an hour.
You coming in there for free.
15.
The big people who own businesses, they do not care about the employee. All they care about is keeping that money coming through and keeping their stock people pacified. And they'll have a few little darlings in their factory that they pat on the head, but all the time they're trying to find automation to get rid of them, too.
Okay,
hello,
good
Mike.
mulligan.
Hello, Preacher. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the program. Thanks for calling.
Hey, thanks for having me. I was worried when you said the stinky line. I'm like, man, he didn't put me on the stinky line, did he?
You would know it if you were on it.
I guess I would. Hey, so I think this is a compliment, so I'll take it this way because that's the way I'm going to give it to you. You remind me of the days of Larry Peterson, and I'm not sure if I got the right person or not, but I remember distinctly as a child my dad yelling at the radio at something. Basically, you incited your audience, or he incited his audience in a way that made them want to pick up the phone. But in those days, we didn't have cell phones. So anyways, you got me so excited when you were talking to Kevin from WLTH. I think it's important to and this is my point, so I'm sorry to take up much time.
No problem. Take your time.
I think it's important to distinguish that this right to work legislation or right to work for less legislation is not necessarily a union, non-union issue. What it is more than anything, as far as I'm concerned, is a priorities issue. You know, this legislative session, we have so many things, it's such a short period of time, and so many things that need to get accomplished. Little Cal funding, Klein Avenue situation, you know, transportation funding, everything else. And for a group of people to hop on this issue, which is really, you know, it's really a non-issue for these Republicans to make this part of their agenda. It really, and it's so divisive, and they know it's divisive, and they know it's gonna cause problems, and they're doing it, you know, for what reason, I don't know, because even, you know, Ed Soliday was on another station today or yesterday, and he said, you know, he said that what they're touting as a thing is, well, 25% of businesses say they're not coming to Indiana because of the right to work. Well, guess what? 75% of them are coming in spite of it. So maybe we should focus on the things that we're doing right, and we already are doing a lot of them right. And, you know, Reardon was on this morning talking about his experience in the economic development world. It doesn't pan out. Their rhetoric doesn't pan out to reality. It's not a reality. The economic development has not been stifled because of the unions, and to the contrary, the Indiana worker has benefited, both union and non-union, I would say.
Well, and we've run a couple of things, but I would like to answer one of your, or at least interject, where you asked, then why are the Republicans doing this? And I think the answer to that is, in the simplest form, is that it's because it has become necessary.